Welcome back to Twinhammer, everybody. We are so excited to be back. We knew that there was going to be some big changes, big updates coming in the end of January. We have two new, really exciting teams from the Shadow Hunt box, as well as now our quarterly balance update, our Dataslate update. So we have a lot to cover. We were just about to release a hugely in-depth guide on the Celestial Incendients, but now we are just going to quickly pivot into covering the Dataslate update. And this video is going to be in a nutshell update of what happened. And we have a hugely in-depth video coming with all the changes, what they were before to what the new ones are. But we're working on that. We just wanted to give an in a nutshell approach of what's happened. So these are all the changes. So as you can see, we've got quite a bit to cover in our in-depth video. So we're currently working on that. But this is just a quick list of all of them. And this, we can see, is kind of 28. In these changes as well, there are multiple, so each of these numbers could have multiple within it. And we're going to have really in-depth slides coming up really shortly. But let's just get to it. We've got some general changes, quality of life improvements. We've got a new equipment choice, the breach charge, which helps teams that didn't have access to reducing the breach 2 AP action on Tomb World. Now we actually have a universal equipment we can take. So that's a new universal equipment, which is a really cool change. And we've got oval base clarifications. The Space Wolf, Fenrisian Wolf, had an oval base, and we saw it before in Hunter Clade. It was a little bit convoluted how it works, so we've got clarification there. We've got some changes to flank and retrieval in the approved ops pack. They're a bit too easy to score, so they've been slightly reined in. We've got trapping equipment such as chain, snares, and manacles got reduced to once per turn. So Nemesis Claw, Exaction, and Mandrakes, who had these types of equipment, they've just got reined in a bit, so you can't keep locking up everybody. Probably Nemesis Claw were the main offenders, as well as Mandrakes. Exaction kind of caught us stray on that. Now, the biggest things that a lot of people were waiting for are nerfs to very strong factions. So yes, everyone, we finally got nerfs to Canoptech. We got nerfs to Wolf Scouts. We've got some slight reining in on Death Watch. And we've got some reining in on Mandrakes as well. Canoptech and Wolf Scouts were the big ones. And I am very happy to say that a lot of the changes that a lot of people were thinking about have come into effect. So the Warriors, namely, this is just in a nutshell, but the Warriors now are a lot less lethal, and they just feel better because they've retained their expendable, but they're just a lot less lethal. So I think Canoptech's going to feel way better to play into. Wolf Scouts, their more oppressive rules in combat got toned down, so they're going to feel better to play against. Death Watch, their special ammunition got reined in, as well as their counteracts. So they're a little bit less oppressive in those outer reaches of their rules. And Mandrakes also got reined in. The Dirge Maw, which could be oppressive, got a little bit reined in. So really nice quality of life improvements. By reining in these slightly overpowered rules, it's just going to make the game feel a lot better. And these teams are still all very, very playable. They're all great. Their rules have just been reined in a really nice way. Now, we've got a lot of buffs as well. Teams that weren't so popular and weren't doing too well in the stats, they've all received kind of fewer restrictions on a lot of their rules. So a lot of their rules had restrictions. They've been lifted in a lot of cases. They've had rules added, and they've had strengthening in some of the stats. So namely, actually, if we were to look at it and kind of categorize a lot of the Galadark season teams, with the only exception being Felgor, all the rest of the Galadark season teams got buffs and got quality of life improvements and are going to be more exciting to play now, which is great because they're going to be classified at the end of this year. So this is their time to, just really enjoy them for their last official run in competitive play. So we've got Hearthkin Salvagers, Exaction Squad, Imperial Navy Breachers, Hand of the Archon, Farstalkerkin Band, Kazarkin, and Hyrotech Circle. All of these are going to be more exciting to play. We've got a couple of improvements to the starter set teams, Angels of Death, Plague Marines. We've got improvement to Scout Squad, and then Battleclade and Ratlings from the current edition. Newer teams have been also updated and given quality of life improvements. The new teams from Shadow Hunt both got slight clarifications to a couple of rules that needed. So they haven't had any buffs or nerfs. They've just had some little clarifications to some rules. And some declassified teams received buff. They said that they would support all the teams throughout the edition and give them balance updates. So it's really nice to see, even if a lot of tournaments are dropping them from competitive play, they're still there to be played with. You can still have games with them, and some tournaments will keep them all in there. So really nice to see that they're balancing. A lot of these teams got some nice quality of life improvements. So good to see there. Some notable absences from this data slate would be the Stealth Suits and the Vespids, in my opinion. Stealth Suits, I feel like they could have gotten some help to shoot twice, give them a little bit more flexibility. They feel a little bit lacking in just that little bit extra flexibility as an elite team because they can't really charge, fight, shoot that well, and they can't double shoot. So I think there should be something addressed there. Vespids, it would be really nice if they could get plus one EPL, some sort of comms ability, I think they could really use right now. Just having the entire team 2 APL feels a little bit like they are missing something that other teams have. So in my opinion, these two could use a little bit extra next time. But the overall impact is that the balance will feel really good in the meta now. I think a lot of teams just got that little bit extra push they needed to feel really good to play. And then some of the more impressive teams just got that little bit of reining in. And so I think we're in a really good spot now. It's a really exciting time for Kill Team. And we have an in-depth video coming. Like I said, it's going to be out very shortly, as soon as we could possibly get it out. We really want to give you all in-depth as much as we can. So stay tuned for that. Have an amazing rest of your day. And we will see you very soon with everything you need to know in high detail about this.